Welcome to another marvelous episode of CFB Nation, hosted by me, Lever KT, aka the Governor of College Football. And look, this is the second to last episode of CFB Nation. No, the platform isn't going anywhere. But listen, we're growing. We're steadily growing, and in order to grow even more, we got to be able to. We can't spread ourselves thin. We got to be able to spread out across the week and create more content for you all. So that's why CFB Morning or Good Morning CFB, whatever you want to call it, is coming next week. We'll be doing that every Wednesday morning and Friday mornings, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And of course, Nino, you want to tell them a little bit about what you're gonna be doing at nighttime, man?
Yeah, we're gonna go with the little CFB Prime. I'm not even going to let you in on any kind of insight of what I got popping, but it's going to be something, and I got some big guns coming. But we're going to, like we said, I'm going to be on the Monday, Tuesday docket. I might throw another day out there later on as we roll out, but there'll be P2P on Friday still. So CFB Nation's pretty much going to be on every single day during the week. We're just flooding you guys with content.
Long story short, get used to seeing our faces. Also, Nino, have you confirmed you're going to Boston College Pro Day?
Boston College Pro Day passed.
Okay.
I was able to go. Unfortunately, when you cannot find your license, they're not going to let you in the building. So I was not able to make it. Had to get a new license. I don't know what happened. Kids might have took it, might have lost it, but it was gone. Right. I woke up in the morning and I'm like, oh no.
Now for context, this guy is the hardest working guy in all of college football. He gets about 4 hours sleep a night. No exaggeration. It's legit. So losing his license, he could have been asleep. We don't know what happened. I know confirmed CFB Nation will be attending Wake Forest spring game April 15th. I'm going to try to get down there April 14th, get some practice footage, do some live stuff over on TikTok and on the YouTube side of things. So
get them. Listen,
second to last episode of CFB Nation. Nino, are you ready?
Stay ready.
All righty. So just so you guys know, CFB Nation is a platform that isn't going nowhere. We're going to be right here. It's just that we don't want a platform called CFB Nation and a show called CFB Nation. Long story short. Nino, man, let's get right into it. We got
hold on. We ain't splitting up.
No.
KT will be on my show. And if I can get on the morning show with him, I will be on the morning show with him.
I might have to have a Saturday or Sunday show just for those special appearances for Nino. Matter of fact, we may have to do a Sunday morning. What in the hell just happened yesterday type of ordeal as well. So
I'm down.
We got y'all covered. So let's get right into it. Nino, what's going on in Lincoln, man?
A lot's going on in Lincoln, but I'll tell you what's going on the right path, and that is Matt Rhule. Mm-hmm. Matt Rhule has got everybody on their toes. Everybody's locked in and loaded. Before I really get into nitty-gritty, offensive lineman Ethan Piper just shared a little glimpse into what's going on there, and he says that after a week and a half of practice, he felt like they were babied by the previous regime. That says volumes of what Scott Frost and people for.
I wish I can play back. I went ballistic on Scott Frost. Go look at on Spotify, CFB Nation episode 2. That's Moon's all-time favorite episode. I went crazy on Scott Frost, and that's not a surprise. He didn't hold his players accountable. He didn't hold himself accountable.
No, and that's why he is no longer there. And the gentleman that replaced him, I don't think he was ready either, so that's why they brought in a big hire. And he's doing his thing. This other thing that did, I got the show and I call, Black Shirts Breakdown. But he is bringing back some deep-rooted Black Shirts, legacy here. When the Black Shirts started, they gave the Black Shirt to guys to stick out who were dogs in practice, right? So they would stick out going into the game. Like, this guy's your leader. This boom, boom, boom. Now, what's he doing? He stripped all the single digits. Now, it's a thing that other schools do, right? And he did it at Temple. But he's stripping all the single-digit numbers down.
Because everybody want those single digits.
Yeah, that he said that the only people that are going to get those are going to be the dogs. The highest, go-getters, the dudes who stand out the most in spring practices and games. So guys like Isaiah Castaneda, his number 2 is going. He's at 82. Quentin Newsom, who's a dog in the secondary, he went from 6 to 15. They actually interviewed Newsom, and the first thing out of his mouth is he's like, I respect everything. He goes, but I want my 6 back, and I'm going to earn that back. So like
that's amazing.
People. They're hungry, right? Chuba Purdy, which is Brock Purdy's younger brother, he went from 6 to 12. Marcus Washington, the receiver, went from 7 to 16. My guy out in the secondary is Miles Farmer. He went from 8 to 18. And AJ Allen, running back, went from 9 to 23. Listen, this speaks up, okay? Not only are they changing, ripping the single digits off. From what I see and what I'm reading, these dudes are doing like uniform checks before you get on field. Coaches are all in. Dudes are coming in, check, make sure the back pads are in, make sure they got everything lined up. Mouthpiece check. Like he wants these guys to. There's no more slouching. Okay, there needed to be a regime change that happened, and he's coming and cracking the whip, and everybody's kind of stepping up to it. It is what it is. Either fall in line or fall off.
In my youth, I might have got mad at Matt Rule, man. I wore the one chin strap hanging, curled up like Michael Irv.
Oh, yeah. No, there's no gloves hanging off the face, man. No, he ain't having it.
He not having it.
No. But I will tell you, there's a few guys, transfers and return guys that are standing out. And I've caught some heat in Nebraska chats about guys where they, I may have not mentioned them because they weren't, at the moment at the top level. And one of the guys I was talking about was Thomas Fido II. Everybody tells me he's the tight end. Maybe he is a tight end, maybe he's not. But he's coming back from knee injury, right? He's healthy now. But Matt Rule said off rip, I am taking it slow with this gentleman. He impresses me. I have a lot of wow moments with him, but I'm taking it slow. But the next word out my mouth is freak. And that is what Marcus Satterfield has called Eric Gilbert, the tight end transfer from Georgia. Okay? He said he's amazed at his size and how a man that big can be that athletic and fast.
Newsflash. I gotta say this. You guys question people in the know. People that put in the work. We have no major backing behind us. And you see how great our sets look. You see how great our show look, right? You should see the documents that Nino create. You should see the work that Nino puts in to get this. So for any Nebraska fan that happen to catch this, bro, if you question my bro, I got a problem with you because he puts too much work in on both the college football side and the NFL side. It never ceases to amaze me how you guys are so quick to bash. Let me see you do it. Let's see what the Blair Witch Project will look like in the flesh because I want to see it.
I'll send you my camera and mic. You can do it.
I wouldn't be able to do it. Wouldn't be able to utter a word. Uhs, and ahs. That's all I'm saying the entire time.
It's motivation. It motivates me. You know what? And I said it to gentlemen out there. It motivates me to get better at my craft, to dig a little bit more. I know that I'm not just spewing nonsense to the people. I understand that. But it's just, it is what it is. Right. Well, that's neither here nor there. Let's get back into these Cornhuskers, okay? Another guy who was a walk-on, right, who played well, and he's balling out in the first couple of weeks of practice. That's John Bullock, linebacker. He went from the nickel to linebacker. Listen, he caught the eye rule, and you might see him get a little more opportunity.
He went from the star to the linebacker?
Yep. Oh, yeah. From the nickel to the LB, and he is, from what I'm reading, and what all reports are, I'm talking about Husker Online, I'm talking about straight out Nebraska Online, is he has had a lot of impact and lightning hits already.
I can see it. I can see it. I can see it. But just because like the college game is so spread out, typically you'll see a move like a safety but a nickel, aka I call it the star because a lot of teams call that position the star. At linebacker, that's impressive.
He was a junior walk-on for Omaha Creighton Prep, right? He played special teams his first 2 years with Nebraska.
Players, they build different. They
fire.
got a chip on their shoulder.
That fire does never smother. Okay, that just straight burns. He found a home at linebacker after he was safety early in his career, right? And listen, when DC White is saying he's lighting things up, I'm all in. Him and Malcolm Hotzog are literally the standout guys on defense right now. Outside from transfer Chief Borders, who, listen, when they're interviewing a guy and he knows, you just gotta listen to what he says, right? You gotta read out of context. First thing he says, he's been watching a lot of film of Syracuse defenses daily, and he's confident in his ability to roll down to the line of scrimmage and go head-to-head with Big Ten offenses. Why is he watching Syracuse defensive film? Because Coach White was in Syracuse for the last 2 years. Brand new defense. What are you going to do? You're going to go look at what your coach did previously. Not everybody does that. Leaders do that. Guys who want to get in there and get an edge, they do that. Chief Borders is standing out early in practices, just by his leadership role and the way he carries himself. All right. There's a lot of dudes. Things are going on. Once again, Tommy Hill started out as a DB, went to wide receiver. He's now on all platforms, a DB/wide receiver. They don't know which way they're going to go with him. He could be an emergency wide receiver, whatever it may be. Cooper Newsom, he switched from quarterback to wide receiver. Cooper Hausman. So there's a lot of moving parts going on right now. But these are the guys that are standing out. Marcus Washington had a nice, it was actually a really nice catch the other day in practice. DB got turned around behind him, tipped the ball. Washington was able to keep his eyes focused, double tapped it, caught it right before the end zone. It was a nice catch. But the atmosphere in Lincoln, totally different. People are bought in. I watch all the Nebraska videos. I'm watching all the press conferences. It's totally, totally different, and these guys themselves know it.
That's impressive. Not surprised at all because I watched Black Shirts Breakdown, and I was truly prepared for this. You know what I'm saying? Because I have a special shirt on today. It's #Find Caitlin. This is something that is near and dear to my heart. My coworker, one of the sweetest people I've known, hasn't seen her daughter since December of 2015. It's been 8 long years. She's been featured. Caitlin's story has been featured on several shows. I can't give out too much information, but long story short, at the time, her ex-boyfriend was supposed to take Caitlin to the airport because she had moved out to Arizona. She was just come back to visit. She never made it to the airport. Yeah. Nino, I seen your face. Yes, 100%. We'll talk more off camera about it, but I couldn't go throughout the show without wearing this shirt. #Find Caitlin if you want to find out more about this story. Nino, let's take a trip to the bottom of the map, man. Talk to me about LSU spring camp.
Ooh, all right. Let's go. All right, we're gonna dive in a little bit. Right off the, I'm gonna start with a sour note because it was a sour note to start last year, and it seems like this gentleman just cannot get out of starting late, and that's running back John Henry Jr. He's starting out suspended again for academic reasons. He was suspended last year for 4 games for academic reasons. I just don't. I don't understand. You would think you're a senior year, you're primed. There's nobody really around you. It's Noah Gain and Trey Holiday, the only other scholarship running backs that are at practice because Amon Goodwin is hurt. Although he did show up today, he wore a helmet, no pads. Mm-hmm. They're probably not gonna be doing drills with Goodwin for a little bit, so he would be getting all reps at the ones. And the only thing he's getting is a number 2 pencil. So it's terrible that this gentleman just can't get it. All right. Quarterback wise, we know Daniels is the QB1. Garrett Newsomaya, he was out there today, the other day actually. He's back from corrective surgery, so he's not really doing much. It'll probably be another 2 weeks before he's like a full go and able to like really ramp things up. Again, another guy that's injured coming back from surgery is my guy. I think he's going to be Neighbors' partner on the side. That's Aaron Anderson, AA from Alabama. He's coming back, so we haven't seen anything from him. He's coming back from surgery, but you'll know a little bit more from him in another 2 weeks, but they are very aware of what a kind of player he was coming out of high school. So right now it's Neighbors and Brian Thomas Jr. at the wide receiver position. And Kyron Lacey, senior wide receiver, he's I believe he's second string. Well, he balled out yesterday in the practices. He had 2 big catches. One of them features on their Twitter. If you got a chance, go to LSU's Twitter, check it out. The whole team went nuts. They were saying, I see you too. So he's doing his thing out there. Mac Markway is a big physical tight end, right? And he ain't got no competition because Mason Taylor will not be practicing at all in spring. So Markway and Jackson McGowan are going to see a bunch of opportunities to prove themselves this year to a new staff. Markway needs to carpe diem and seize the moment. You know what I mean? Taylor should have been eating all them reps. He ain't there.
Right.
Get in there and do your thing.
Do you think it's a legitimate chance for them to push him at number 1 tight end?
Yeah, I think he has. Right now, I think it's a coin flip. You know what I mean? Because of dude's inability. You're not here. You're not taking reps. You know, it's a lot of moving pieces at LSU, right? Butte's gone. Now Neighbors is wide receiver 1. Is wide receiver 2 is available. Tight ends are out. Linemen shifted. So, like, this is the moment to step up. This is time to prove yourself.
Right.
Guys like Omar Speets, linebacker transfer coming over, and Harold Perkins, they're proving themselves in the linebacker room. They're clear leaders right now at LSU. The first team defense was led by Major Burns and Greg Brooks at safety, Sage Ryan at nickel. Like I mentioned, Perkins and Omar Speets at linebacker, Paris Shand and Jacoby Guillory at defensive tackle, Savion Jones at defensive end. I'm going to mess this gentleman's up, so I'm just going to call him Double O. First name is Ovi. He's at edge. Zay Alexander and Javian Tarvino at the outside corner. Zay Alexander is the name that you want to look out for. Lanky 6'2" guy, right? He was with the first team defenses the last 3 practices so far, right? He started at FCS level, recorded 9 interceptions over the past 2 seasons. He's a physical guy, right around 200 pounds, 199, and he's got potential. Like, he can play pretty much everywhere in the secondary. He was second team nickel safety. Sage Ryan is another guy. Sage Ryan's already had 2 strip sacks in back-to-back days. He's a 30-year DB for LSU. So those are the names you want to look out for. Sage Ryan, Zay Alexander. And then you also got my guy who I think is going to ball out. He's not there yet. He hasn't practiced all. Deuce Chestnut. He's a Syracuse transfer. And then you got the Ohio State guy, J.K. Johnson. So that's the news coming out of LSU so far. What are your thoughts?
I'm interested to see how well things go in Brian Kelly year 2. I believe that the marker that the fans have placed, the marker that the media is placing on LSU, the bar is going to be high.
Higher than what they finished at?
I think so. Because
for what reason?
You don't think they're going to open the year as a top 10 team?
I said higher than what they finished at. They finished at 6, right?
They finished at 6. We all know about that. I don't know.
Here's my thing.
Championship game left a bad taste in my mouth.
Okay, right. Yeah. I'm a big Omar Speets guy. I think that I know you're losing an edge guy in BJ, but you're getting a dog back in the linebacker core in Speets. Butte kind of checked out multiple games last year. There were some games where he did decently. So, like, his loss really is probably an addition by subtraction.
I agree with that.
I really want to see Double A perform. I think, Anderson, Alabama doesn't just target any scrub wide receiver. They may not hit on him, but the guys they bring in are 4- and 5-star talents, right? So to leave Alabama, go to LSU, he obviously saw opportunity. He obviously believes in Daniels, right? You're leaving where you could have got peppered now with a new quarterback, and you took off.
That's where I was going to go at next.
So to me, and I spoke briefly with you about quarterbacks at Alabama, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
what did I say? I said I think that Saban's gonna go that dual threat guy.
Yeah,
which would make sense. Why a wide receiver that wants to eat, wants to get peppered, 50, 60, 70 receptions a year, transfers out.
Yeah, for sure.
There ain't gonna be enough targets. There's already guys there that that are gonna eat. I'm out. I'm gonna go somewhere else. So it's gonna be interesting.
Will we see?
I like the combo. I think Neighbors.
Jaden Daniels from the pocket more this year. Will we see him? Not saying that he didn't go through his progressions.
You want to know why?
Why is that?
Because they're in the same boat running the ball as they were to start the year last year. It took him 6 games before he was able to sit down and stay calm. It wasn't his fault. Right. But everybody knew they weren't running the ball.
Right. He was literally putting the team on his shoulders.
Yeah, and then Emory came back, and what happened? 4 touchdowns in 5 games.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he might not have been running for 100 yards, but he was scoring. He was a threat. They knew that, all right, from the 30 in, this guy can punch the ball in. He's a guy that we have to keep an eye on. And then all of a sudden, Daniels doesn't have to stay in the pocket. He can move and roll a little bit in space and find a guy. Oh, look, go back and look, right? Neighbors' ascension last year started at like the middle of the game, week 5 and on.
Mm-hmm.
What happened week 5? They got a damn running game.
That's fair.
I think they come in. I think they're going to be anywhere between 8 and 12.
8 and 12 to start the season and finish the season?
No, to start.
To start the season. Got you. Were they in your top 10? I don't remember.
Yeah, I believe they were in my top 10. I
Yeah.
think I had them at like 8.
Yeah, they were
9,
they were
somewhere
in
in
the top
there.
10. I
Yeah.
believe based on the criteria, based on how well that they did last season, it's only right to have them between that marker. And it wouldn't surprise me if they was higher. It just wouldn't.
Well, all right. Before you go and head us down to Buckeyeville, right? How to put them that high, right? You would have to have them. You would think automatic top 4, right? Is Bama, Ohio State, Michigan,
UGA.
yeah, Georgia.
Yeah, agreed.
I don't.
That's
it's
the
hard
first tier. Who's the next tier?
Oregon, LSU,
Yeah, your guys.
USC.
Right. Your guys, right? Washington, right?
Where did I have them though? I had them at 9,
You
10,
had them
right?
at
Am I
9,
like
right?
yeah, so like-
You had them in the beginning of the third tier. Yeah, you
Yeah,
did.
exactly. They are the leaders of the third tier, and it. Don't get me wrong. They could go from the third tier to the first tier in like 3 weeks,
Agreed.
real quick too. Because if that offense doesn't take a step back,
It should.
watch out.
Right.
They shouldn't,
Right.
but there's film on them now, right? And the people have had a whole camp now to say, okay, Romeo's here. he wasn't here the year before. He made his name. Now we can see.
I think the here's the thing. Pac-12 got a little bit better
Wide
this
open.
offseason. It
Wide
got a little
open.
bit better this offseason. Like you had,
But the
Arizona
talent
State,
leveled out.
We know about that. Prime is in Boulder now. Like teams are going to be better than they were last year.
Real quick, you said Prime. I was so excited to see Travis Hunter as a wide receiver. And then I watched 2 practices where the dude's jumping to catch a ball with nobody around him.
Damn.
Like, dude, if you're going to play wide receiver, you got to get out of that defensive back mode. You know what I mean? Like, it's not Garrett Wilson. I know everybody was like, why is Garrett Wilson jumping to catch every pass, in the combat? And it's probably, that's just the way he plays, dude. Like, he played like that at Ohio State. It's just the way he is. Travis Hunt, I don't know. Maybe it was just the videos I saw, but it's just a little bit of a little red flag to me. Like, man, I don't know. Maybe you should just focus on being a lockdown DB.
That I would agree with.
Because that secondary's dirty.
Because I thought we spoke of Derek Williams earlier. I thought he should have played cornerback going into college instead of wide receiver.
Right.
The best athlete I've ever seen with my own 2 eyes in person was him. Let's go down to Knoxville before we go to Columbus real quick.
Okay.
Let's talk about Tennessee. So I went to the Rocky Top Insider. Also went to the team specific page on 24/7 Sports as well. So I was able to get a lot of good news for you all as far as what's going on down in Volunteer Country. So Joe Milton, this is what a lot of people are reporting coming out of camp. He is the unquestioned leader of this team and the QB1. We knew he was going to be the QB1, but the fact that people are saying unquestioned leader, Nino, you're laughing. I got to get your take.
If I told you the sky was red and you didn't know it was any other color but red, you'd believe it, right?
Right. Is this
if
one of
they
those
say that
things?
Joe Milton is not the leader or QB1 and that Nico is already QB1, do you think he's staying? Because the portal's still around the corner.
Right. And I also got some news on Nico I think that you're going to love later. Also, per Rocky Top Insider, Oregon transfer wide receiver Dante Thornton has balled out and has moved up the depth chart. He's taking reps with the first team. Big body, 6'5". Led Oregon. This is kind of a loaded stat, but it's a stat anyway. In yards per catch last season at 21.5 yards per catch, he didn't have a lot of catches.
But that doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
He's going to replace Hyatt.
Yeah.
Especially in Heupel's offense. That's the dude.
Yeah, I would have to agree.
Brew McCoy will be Tillman. And then there's going to be nobody to cover my guy Squirrel because he's a versatile player. He eats everywhere. He can play across the middle. He can go deep. We've seen it.
You were the first person I seen. That granted, I don't watch everybody. I just need to put that out there. I don't watch everybody. That's part of who I am. I am a competitor. I don't want to steal anybody takes. So I don't watch everybody. But Nino was the first person I heard talking about Squirrel White. I'm just saying. I'm just saying he's going to have a breakout season. We won't be surprised because Nino hit this. BYU transfer linebacker. Everybody was mentioning this guy, Nino. Everybody was mentioning this guy. BYU transfer linebacker also balled out I think they're in week 2 of their camp.
This is 3, right? Was it the beginning of 3?
Yeah, it's the beginning of 3. First team reps and appearing to be the vocal leader defensively. A transfer vocal leader defensively.
No, that's how it is with Nebraska. Chief Borders. He's a dude. Like everybody's listening to him.
Like that, you know how much respect you have to command to be able to walk in a room.
Yo, that's straight flex.
Yeah. That's man's SHIT. That's alpha SHIT. Like that's crazy.
BDG.
Right. Exactly. He was a 2-time captain while at BYU, with second team in total tackles 2022. Everybody mentioned this guy. Yeah. Tim Banks. I don't like to say another man was gushing over another man. When he talked about him, it was crazy, you know. It was something out of a movie scene. Like, I'm telling you.
I want to see, though. You're going from independent to the SEC.
Yeah, you're going to a big dog.
Let's see if you're putting your big boy pants on,
a lot of people
right?
even saying, though, they was like, he looks like an SEC linebacker. Like, that was the thing that...
And I'm all about that. Let's go, then. Let's eat.
Yeah, that's crazy. Also got to catch an interview with defensive coordinator Tim Banks. I love how poised he was when he was talking. Also, like, the giddiness. You could see when he was talking about the linebacker. You see it when he was just talking about the freshman. And one of the things that Tim Banks said is that he was impressed with the coming freshman. Not only their ability to retain information, which is hard for an 18-year-old. Your defensive playbook, high school versus college, and then versus NFL is night and day.
Absolutely.
But they're retaining the information. He said their tenacity. They're coming in and wanting it.
Is that Keenan Peely?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Peely. I ain't want to mess up his name.
I'll do it. I mess names up all the time. Yeah.
There's another person name I'm gonna mess up later. Freshman linebacker Arion Carter. Everybody's saying he's the player to watch.
Is he gonna get? You think he gets time off rip? Because I want to see who replaces Jeremy Banks.
I think he gets time immediately.
Like day one starter or day one rotational?
Day one rotational. I don't think he's day one starter.
Okay.
But
Healy's a day one starter.
Yeah. He definitely is.
If they wore green dot, he'd have it.
Huh?
If they had green dots in college, he'd be wearing it.
Yeah, he would be. Okay. He would be. Okay. This is a guy to watch out for. He picked off your boy Joe Milton during the second spring practice. Listen, they was playing zone. That's how crazy the kid Arion Carter is. They was playing zone, and he made the interception.
What side?
What side of zone was?
What side was he playing on the zone? That's right.
I'm not sure. I heard.
I want to visually. I think Milton, because Milton throwing. Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So it's playing zone. Let's say he's playing a cover 2, and let's say he's playing a hook, like a 5 to 7 yard hook, right?
Yeah. I got you.
So in that 5 to 7 yard hook is where he was supposed to be, but he had read Joe Milton, so he ended up being outside of his zone. Boom, made a play on the ball and picked off Joe Milton. So that's crazy that a freshman is trusting his eyes like that. And of course,
or is it that Joe Milton just lets it's readable?
Yeah.
Is Joey Milton too readable? Is that it?
Right. So like you said, it's like you want to build him up, and then y'all talk about this play, like giving Arion Carter all the love, but no.
I'm not throwing shade. I'm not throwing shade. I like to throw my jab. And I don't hate Joe Milton, but I got ripped about him a couple times, that's why.
Right. Nah, for sure, we understand. Tim Banks, like I said, I watched this interview. I'm just really impressed with him, impressed with his knowledge, impressed with his enthusiasm, but also impressed with his poise. I feel like his players respect him, but also they probably enjoy his presence as well.
Speaks with his chest.
Yeah. I would agree with that. He said something interesting. He said that he prefers recruits. And I thought this was a gem. He was like, that play multiple sports and have ultra competitiveness. I thought that was a gem because a lot of times you don't even think about that type of stuff. You just look at a recruit. We trust what we see on the film. Like, hey, this guy's a dog. But he said he prefers guys who are multi-sport athletes, guys who are just ultra competitive.
So I've read thing about other coaches that enjoy that, and what I've seen as the common denominator why they all like him, endurance. Can play multiple. You know what I mean? You can put him on the field in multiple spots because they have endurance. So if he's in secondary, he's a free safety. You got to rotate the other guy off. You can throw him at strong safety because he's still got juice.
Facts. So that has to be the reason that these coaches are doing that. Like you said, endurance. I seen firsthand circuit training at the collegiate level, and this was at Division III. I heard what's the kid name? Duran Banks. Shout out to Duran. I said Duran Banks. Duran Bates of Raw Room TV. They do great stuff over there over at Raw Room. But I seen him talking about the circuit training, and he was like, it's death. It's just death in the winter. That's all it is. You're just running around crazy. Nino, you're gonna appreciate this, and shout out to Boomer. Boomer appreciate this well. Kurt Smith, who's like, I think they call him like competitive development director, something like that.
Okay.
Of Tennessee, and the conditioning staff are putting in the work in Tennessee, bro. Caleb Herring gained 20 pounds. Ain't been there but yay long. Gained 20 pounds already. Linebacker Jeremiah Tallender gained 12 pounds. He's now at 226. And guess who else gained some weight?
Nico. Let's go. Give me. Nico. Hey, ready? Give me 7 to 10.
12. You were close.
Bang.
Yeah. So he's gaining weight, but the way that they're gaining his weight, they're not trying to take away from his elusiveness or anything like that.
Putting in his legs.
Yeah.
They're putting in his legs and his shoulders. Yeah. Come on.
He looked bigger. And he looked bigger. It's crazy with 12.
They need him to, you got to put some meat on him and take hits. They know that. It's different size people.
He looked like the Slim Reaper playing playing football. Like
But Bryce Young did it, right? That's so.
So let's go to Columbus.
Let's do it. I got questions for you, so let you do your thing.
Do
your thing. I'm gonna let you talk, and then when you get to those points, I might jab in.
Okay. Cornerback Denzel Burke is the
dog
buzzword in Columbus right now. Freshman year, pretty solid. Sophomore, I don't want to call it a sophomore slump, but just didn't play as good.
Plateau.
Yeah. And the one thing that I hear people in Columbus are saying are that they're tired of their cornerbacks not being able to get their head around and make a play on the ball. So that's what a lot of people in Columbus are saying.
Lock them hips in, bro. Get them things movable, right? Like you get your hips moving, you can get your head around. But when you can't swing your hips to get your body right, you're looking straight like a mannequin.
Right, exactly. And people in Columbus are tired of it. They are ready. They are. I'm telling you, the fans are ready.
Are you ready for this?
Surrounded.
D now got Burke as DB1. Peep the article. He put it out. I want to say like 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Yeah. I remember.
DB1.
DB1. So the buzz is going crazy, and they said they said he's having one hell of a camp, but more importantly, they said the work he put in during the winter workouts is the reason why he's blossoming now. So, like I said, they were just gushing over Denzel Burke. Speaking of which, on the other side, at the other cornerback, mistransfer, David how you say his name?
Yeah.
Igbunson, something like that. I told you I was going to butcher your name today. They said he's put together a great camp as well. Both him and Burke are looking to be one of the best tandems in the nation this season. Coming into the spring, offensive line was the major concern. Like, we all know that. When you lose, Paris Johnson and DeJuan Jones, like, it's not easy to replace them. A lot of the people surrounding Columbus are saying, look, interior offensive line I'm not worried about, but we got to be able to protect our quarterback on the tackles. So they are definitely worried about that. And the biggest position battle right now, I know some people would say quarterback. I think it's running back, if I'm being honest. Go ahead. Chime in.
What do you got as where does it seem to be ranked out right now? Because I've been seeing Travion in the middle, man.
No. Travion
He's up top?
He's at top. And here's why. Him, and I forgot the running back coach name, and Ryan Day, they had a heart-to-heart. They were.
He's gonna start catching balls?
That's the hard part. Honestly, if you look at just production and production alone, Mayan Williams was the most productive back last year. He had 21 more carries and 250 more yards than Travion Henderson. But if we get any flashes of what Travion Henderson did his freshman year, he's definitely the best back on that team.
I agree 100%, but if we saw this story. I mean, he got injured, but we saw the same story in Baltimore, right? The guy coming out of Ohio State that if we see the flash like he showed us in the four games at the end of the season, like,
yeah.
I think the kid's got uber talent, super duper talent.
They said he was playing even because he only played 8 games last year. They were saying even in the games he played, he was hurt. You know, it goes back to the program. Are you injured or are you hurt? So he was playing with.
What's the other gentleman? His name starts with a D.
Yeah, Dallin Hayden. I like him.
Mm-hmm. That's
I like
dude,
him. Yeah,
bro.
I like him a lot.
Yeah.
He single-handedly won that Maryland game, bro.
That guy he's a dog.
Yeah.
He's yak, and I'm not talking. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You have to have to catch it. You have to have to contact.
I respect these guys' competitiveness because how many schools could Mayan Williams start for? How many schools could Dallin Hayden start for? I respect these guys' competitiveness because they're like, you know what? Let's go and put the work. You know, may the best man win.
You only need 1 year though, especially as a running back.
Yeah.
You give GMs and scouts 1 year of solid production in a P5 school, with the way the running backs barely get a second contract after the rookie deal.
Right.
You're making the show.
Yeah, you will. Question for you. Is this the best running back room in the nation? I kind of put you on the spot.
It's even the best running back room in the Big Ten.
Talk, man, you know.
Give me Michigan.
Give you Michigan.
Give me Michigan. Give me Corum. Give me Donovan Edmonds. And go watch the film on the young rookie, on a young freshman coming in, because he can give both of them guys a run for their money.
Is this a top 5 running back room?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Go ahead. I know you.
And they're not 5.
And they're not 5. Okay. I like that. I know you said you had a couple questions.
You going to tell anybody about the removal of the black stripe?
No. You want to spill?
Okay, that's fine. These 2 freshmen coming in, and it's not a knock on Brendan McGinnis and Connell Tate. But Brendan McGinnis isn't at practice right now. His school doesn't. Again, he can't have early enroll, whatever it may be. So he's not there yet. Connell Tate had 3 practices, bro. They took the black stripe off. He's officially a Buckeye.
Damn.
Yeah, there's no red. There's no red shirt freshman. He's a dude. He's playing.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's big. And
that's major.
You want to talk QB battles? Keep talking.
Especially with that wide receiver room.
Well, all right. But you have to understand now, and people need to realize this, because as soon as I say that, people are going to start running and go research everything, right? And Mbuka and Fleming are not practicing due to provisional coming off surgeries. Like, just a provision. They're healthy. He just doesn't want to ruin it. Like,
we're seeing a lot of schools doing that.
Right. So they get a lot of reps. And this kid, a true freshman, off 3 practices, takes the black stripe off. If you can't see that, Stevie Wonder can see that.
Right.
You know what I'm
saying?
saying? Like,
pipeline right there.
Yeah. And then you guys want to talk QB battle. I'm tired of it. Please put the thing to rest. I will give you a biggie and a blanket.
That's why I didn't even mention it, bro.
Comes out. My man Kyle comes out on every practice 1 by at least 25% is taking more reps than Devin Brown. Yeah. Okay? And when they close out every practice with the ones, it's McCord. McCord is the dude. Okay? McCord is going to be a top 5 quarterback this year in college football.
Wow.
Production-wise. Yeah, production-wise, yes.
It's a quarterback-friendly offense.
Marvin Harris ain't going to catch the ball on his own.
Nah.
And if he's going to be the best wide receiver in the nation, numbers-wise, because people are saying right now at the pro day, it was like looking at a Lamborghini through the window, you can't drive, right? That was scouts' quotes. Like, that was facts. Like, I didn't make that shit up. That was scouts saying that stuff at the pro day. And it was just the same thing happened yesterday. They're looking at Drake May throw passes. They're scouting him. Like, bro, you got a year. Sit down, homie. Relax.
Hey, hold on, dog. They said what?
They said it was like looking at the Lamborghini that's coming out next year and you can't buy yet.
Hey, bro, Dino, that is crazy, man.
You know what I mean? So, if he's going to be the dude, who's going to get him the ball? My guy. And I say it's my guy because I had to eat shit on it first, okay? Yeah. And I admit when I'm wrong, but I went and did the research. And I got people I talk to, and I have no problem taking my tail between my legs and saying, yo, I was wrong. Right. And I told homeboy, I was wrong. I didn't realize that there was a connection, right, with Robin Harrison in prep school, right? When these kids were 13 years old, 14 years old. I didn't realize that. I didn't realize that my boy can put a ball 40 yards field through a freaking mouse hole, bro. He got that juice. So, listen, when I'm wrong, I'll admit it. And you can ask anybody. I'll even pay the price. KT knows I paid it.
You don't want number 33 as your quarterback?
Nah, bro, come on. I'm not going to play basketball. I'm not shooting from the corner. Give me 6, bro. I roll 6 all day, okay?
Yeah. On the dice, I like that.
Yeah.
So who's your under the radar player or players that people should be paying attention to?
I got 2. One offense, 1 defense. I'm going to give you my offensive guy, and it's only because I've been on it for a couple of days now, and I actually talked to the player. He's on. I forget his name. He's on the Devy Deep Dive. His handle on Twitter is at the Players Scout. I believe his name is Jason. He was talking about Wisconsin, and I asked him, Mordecai's there. Nick Evers is there. Can my guy Chime Dikey, wide receiver out of Wisconsin, 6'1", 195, can he be the Josh Downs now? Because Phil Longo's the OC now over there, right? In 2 seasons at UNC, we watched Josh Downs just blow up. Right? You watched Drake May emerge. You watched Sam Howell look like a god his last year. Well, he got Mordecai. Mordecai was no slouch at Fresno. I mean, SMU, right? So let's see what he got. And I think Jimmy can be a dude. In 13 games, he started all 13 games. He had 47 catches, 689 yards, 6 touchdowns. Right? The 6 touchdowns was tied him for 7th in the Big Ten. That was the most by a Wisconsin Badger wide receiver since Quentin Cephas in 2019. All right? His 14.8 yards per catch was 4th in the Big Ten with anybody with at least 40 receptions. He had a PFF grade of 78.8 out of the slot, which was the 9th best in the Big Ten, right? And you got to think about Big Ten, and when we're talking about guys in the Big Ten, 3 of them guys were at Ohio State.
Right.
And he was 9th. There's only 5 more guys better than him in the whole Big Ten, right? He caught 6 TDs out of the slot, was 14th in the whole nation. He had a huge game against Northwestern. 10 catches for 185 yards and 3 touchdowns. And he was the first Wisconsin wide receiver to have 3 touchdowns and go for 185 since Lee Evans, your man in Buffalo, in 2003. So, listen, Jimmy Dikey is a guy that I think can sneak. If you're a fantasy, college fantasy guy, this is a guy you want to go get, right? You can get him late in rounds. But this is a dude that I think, kind of like a Jalen Reed. People didn't know about him, right? Had a year. I think this is going to be like he comes out, bubbles, gets noticed, and can sneak in the drafts in mid-rounds and be a dude.
I like that.
Now, you want my defensive guy or you want to go bar for bar?
We go bar for bar.
I
just got one player, and I'm high on this guy.
Hit it.
Can you hear that? Choo-choo. All aboard on the Texas Tech train. I am telling you, Texas Tech got a guy at wide receiver. Nino knows who this is because he's a Debbie guy. Jerron Bradley. I think he's poised to have a big season. 6'5". Well, they say he's 6'5".
Hey, bro, he might be 6'6".
Yeah, they say he's 6'5".
He might be 6'. He's a big boy. He looked like Johnny Wilson.
Yeah. Red shirt freshman last season, 51 catches, 744 yards, 6 TDs. I've heard a lot of people talk about Texas Tech. I heard Late Kick Josh.
Who threw him the ball? Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
he put up those numbers.
Right.
Come on.
Right. So, I don't know. I think that he is just poised for a breakout year. How do you feel about him?
Yeah, I love it. I think he's going to be – he is the size. What is he, 202?
They have him listed as 215, but you know the heights and the weights is always
215.
Yeah,
he gained weight from last year.
Yeah, that's what they.
Sure, I thought he was at like 202, 205. So 215, bro. That's a contested catch machine. Go put the ball up in the air. If you get in a little bit of space, let him go get it. Red zone, he just eats. He should, right? Six touchdowns last year. Should be able to get to 8 to 9 this year. You know, feeling comfortable in the system. I love it. You always want a big body guy. And at 215 going into camp, You come out of camp 220,
Right,
ripped,
right.
ripped.
Grown man.
Yeah, bro. Go try and get him. Like 6'5". What was Q? 6'3"? Like 187? Dude plays like he's 5'9". Like, come on. Get out of here, dude. You didn't put that guy's wide receiver. Well, I'm tired of hearing that too. You know what I mean? I love it. I think it's a great pick. I love that we both got these guys that probably nobody's even bobbling at the mouth.
Right.
I'll throw another wide receiver out there just because it's pedigree, and everybody wants to talk about Colorado. Jimmy Horn. Yeah, that's right. That's the son of Joe Horn, former wide receiver for the New Orleans Saints.
Shout out to Joe Horn.
This kid got that swag, bro. He says he's better than his daddy. Like, dudes that come out and can say that,
Wow.
like, I'll give it to my dad.
You're a different breed.
I'll give it to my dad any day on the field. He's saying, I'm about to break all his numbers. I love it. It's just a guy look up. Yo, I understand there's all kinds of talent in Colorado, but he was a transfer with multiple offers. He wanted to go play with Shador and Coach Prime. So just keep that in the back of your mind. Now on the defensive side of the ball, I love guys with crazy names. I find the dudes with crazy names. Squirrel. We already know about that Seven McGee from Oregon, right? He transferred to Jackson State this year. This is another transfer with a crazy name, but he just is dude. And it stuck out to me because at UNC, Tony Grimes was an absolute dog. I had him top 5 right up there with Joey Porter had he entered the draft. He transferred and went to Texas A&M, right? Quarterbacks didn't target Grimes as much. Who was the dude on the other side? Storm Duck. He got targeted, right? But he had like a QBR of less than 85, all right, when targeted. He had 46 tackles, 36 solo, a tackle for loss, 3 picks, a forced fumble, and 9 pass breakups. My man was getting peppered and was just dominating. Like, you were on an island, bro. And you were Tom Hanks with your ball, Wilson. This is my ball, and ain't nobody going to take this from me. So, dude, Storm Duck is a guy. He missed 2 years due to injury. In 2020, he had an injury. I think in 2019 he played all 13 games. 2020, he had an injury. 2021, he only played 6 games. So 2 years in a row, he had an injury. His freshman year, he came out, made a name for himself. So there was that little gap in the middle. Obviously, last year, he did his thing. He's on a grad transfer to Penn State. He was tied for 3rd in the ACC with 3 interceptions. He was tied for 7th with 9 pass breakups. Like, he's not a joke. On3 ranked him 11th cornerback in the portal. Like, he was a top defensive guy to go get. This is a big get for Penn State. I think Storm Duck is going to be a top 5 DB in the Big Ten. And he could be a name where you're like, okay, this class is deep. He could be a name like Clark Phillips III, where you're like, all right, Storm Duck could probably sneak into the first round. If not, he's an early 2nd round pick.
Shameless plug. Make sure you guys check out Nino's it's on CFB Nation, but it's show P2P. Check out the season preview that Nino did for Penn State. It's a must watch, and watch all of the team previews that they're doing. They're giving you guys game way before everybody else who's gonna be doing this in August. They're giving you guys season previews now. So they did a bunch of teams. You guys did who? Penn State, Duke, Washington,
TCU, Auburn, Clemson.
Yeah.
We're gonna do I think I'm not sure what we got next. I usually let Boomer pick 3 and then we go from there.
And okay, then y'all dial it out. So yeah, they're giving y'all $1 million worth of game for free $99. Nino, you had one more category we wanted to talk about.
Yeah, we can. I just want to throw it out there, and maybe we can clip it and run it back. And week 6, it was give me one. I wanted to bounce see back. One bounce back guy in year 2 for coach, and one guy in a new location in year 1 that's probably just gonna stink. I think we probably got the first guy, the year 1 guy in a new location is the same guy, but we'll see. I'm gonna throw him out there. And I just think he's a flop, and that's going to be Scott Satterfield.
I knew you were going there.
I think he was an emergency hire. Everywhere you've gone, your overall record is in the red, man. Sorry, not for me.
Who's your bounce back guy?
I'm going Cristobal.
Are you really?
Yeah, I think that the Hurricanes may not be in contention for the ACC or at the end. But I think they could be comfortably in a bowl game this year.
Really?
Yeah, I think they could get to 7-8.
Hurricanes 7 or 8 wins. Yeah, clip
It-
that. Clip that.
My worry is Citizen
Ah,
because he's not in camp. He's kind of still rehabbing. So
but I didn't know that he's not in camp.
yeah, but from what I'm hearing, Van Dyke looks good. I saw a couple videos. Van Dyke looked crisp throwing balls. Xavier, I always mess his name. Xavier Restopo, the wide receiver, got hurt mid-season last year, who was starting to bubble out. He looks good. They got a recruit and a transfer coming. They both look good. Offensive line is looking, I hate to say this because it's like a jinx because they haven't looked fast in a long time, but their offensive line looks quite fast compared to what it's been in the last couple of years. And my tight end, the gentleman that I mentioned, he's coming up. He's bubbling. So we're going to see what happens. We talked about tight ends earlier. A couple episodes. If you want to find out who it is, go back and check it out in the episode. But he's a young man coming out of the Hurricanes. I think he's going to be the dude that's going to take over for Mallory.
Wow. So I got a guy, and it's not really bounce back, but I'm interested to see what Brett Bielema does in year 3.
Okay. Oh, you went out of pocket. You went third year.
Yeah. I'm interested to see what Brett Bielema does in year 3. But one person that I believe is trending in the wrong direction is, and I think Moon went the opposite way, but is Michigan State. How do you feel about them? I feel like they're going in the opposite direction. I know it's a sour
No, because I feel like, all right, so Michigan State, Iowa, Nebraska up until recently, Mississippi State, you gotta be really bad for a long period of time before you get ousted.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't necessarily stop pulling plugs. They're not the turnover machine here. But, yeah, it's kind of been a sour taste for a little bit, right?
I'm going to leave you with this. And I'm going to let you finish your point.
Okay, good.
Mel Tucker, I don't know after this most recent coaching carousel season, but coming into last season, he was a top 10 paid, highly paid coach. Like, top 10 in the nation paid coach. So we start thinking about the hot seat for him. Is it too early for that? But because of the 2021 season, how you feeling?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say Kenneth Walker's last year they were good.
Yeah.
So we had a COVID season, right?
Mm-hmm.
No. Yeah, it was last year. That was it.
Yeah.
That was bad. Yeah. So like, you can't warm the seat up.
Mm-hmm.
You can stop flicking a match if you want to.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But I always, I can understand like why people question him at this moment. He's kind of in like a seesaw period of his contract.
And they had some embarrassing moments this past year too.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. But then I always look at like I said to you the other day, like they won 11 games last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Penn State. What has James Franklin really done? What has he won?
That's something I don't say aloud. But it's something internally. I'm right there with you. I feel
like he never gets over the hump, right? But they got him in the top 5 coach. I'm just confused.
I think, okay,
he's not even.
We think about okay that Joe Paterno, right? His legacy. We think about what happened with I don't know the position. I don't even care to remember the guy's name.
It's his homeboy, his crony.
Yeah. That they feel like Joe Pa may have got a whim of. We don't know that. That is hearsay. I don't know if that's anything they prove. And then Bill O'Brien, what he was able to do in the bridge season.
He righted the ship. He brought them back out of the gutter.
And I feel like a lot of people feel like with Franklin, Penn State was. We didn't know if they'd ever be back. After that.
Have they been back though? Like,
Like I said, it's just one of those things. I feel like a lot of people feel like it's taboo to say aloud, but because of what he's accomplished after the debacle. But at some point, we have to look at this thing through, put our beer goggles on, kind of, clear them up and really look at this thing, with 2020 vision. Has he done the job that everybody kind of?
Is he a top 3 coach in the Big Ten? Like, he's not even the top 2.
No.
So how do you put him top 5?
No, because if you look at their talent, you know what I'm saying? Every year, Penn State, if you just look at the names on paper, probably a top 15 team every year.
The defense is always top
bruh,
20. Yeah,
bruh.
like
what
there.
they do at the linebacker position, bro.
Yeah, they just spit out dogs. It's LeVar Harrington. They just spitting them out like it's normality.
But I do feel like there are teams with less talent that get a lot more work done. So I feel you when it comes.
You know what I mean? So you got Ohio State and Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
Those two guys.
They're the big dogs. Yeah.
Right, and then Saban, right? Dabo. Is Franklin better than Brian Kelly?
No.
I would think that Kelly's better. He's done it in multiple places, right?
He has. Success at Cincinnati, success at Notre Dame, success last year at LSU.
I think he's better, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So, I mean, I guess he kind of falls after that, but I could probably come up with a couple other gentlemen that I think that might be bright. Like from
Lincoln Riley.
Yeah, Lincoln Riley. Even Fickle.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of.
And you know what? And I know it's what have you done for me lately? But he took a team that had 0 wins, 2 wins in 3 seasons at Kansas. Leopold, bro, like he's showing you something with lesser talent. I don't know, man. I'm not knocking Franklin, and I agree they won 11 games, but they won 11 games and they really even talked about in the Big Ten.
Right.
Where'd they finish? They were in the top 10 in the final, right?
I'm not sure if they were in the top.
I want to say they were like 10 or 9 or something.
They had to be, and if not, they was just on the outside,
right,
looking in. But
with 11 wins,
yeah. You bring up a great point about you feel like Penn State. I don't know. I don't believe you said this on the recent show, but you had proposed this question. You like who they got on the outside. You know what I'm saying? So this year is going to be an interesting year. I don't think it's making.
They got Dante Cephas, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But other than that, it's a couple of guys who, and I don't. When I make a point, sometimes I come across condescending. I'm not trying to.
Right.
They had to go out and get Mitchell Tinsley as a transfer to be the number 2 to Parker Washington because the gentleman who was sophomores and juniors they didn't trust.
Right.
Did they take a step forward being third and
right.
fourth stringers? Because I didn't see it.
Do you trust
in my eyes, it's running through the big dogs in the backfield, bro. It's Nicholas Singleton and Allen. Like those they're gonna just feed them guys the rock.
But at some point, you can't continue to be one dimensional.
No, you don't need to be one dimensional when you have Dante Cephas, right? So you can run the rock,
right?
And then you have an all collegiate player.
Yeah.
And you have a 3-star quarterback, Drew Allar, who should be able to get him the ball.
You think he'll produce more than Clifford has? And I know that's a loaded question.
Clifford. You know how I feel about Clifford?
Yeah.
He had a handful of good games last year.
Yeah.
I will not take that away from him. There was another handful of games where I was looking at the screen going, bro, what are you doing?
Wisconsin 2021 was that game for me.
yeah, right. Yeah. So I think he could. I honestly think he could. If he wants to be in the talk with these guys, that came in with him, right? He's with Drake Mays and all these. You want to come in that class and be with those guys? This is your time. You need to take that step. I need to see you. I need like 25 touchdowns, 2,800. 3,000 yards. You know what I mean? 63% more completion percentage, 300 yards on the ground. You can give me that, then we can talk.
Yeah, we might be cooking on something now.
Yeah. That's what he's supposed to be, though, right? But the funny thing is he's a 3-star with all he comes with the Louis bag, right? And he comes with all the high class stuff because he's but the guy behind him in Bo Prisbilla, he's a 3-star. Except he just coming with like Michael Kors, and Tommy Hilfiger.
Right.
But yeah, just the dude with the Michael Kors and the Tommy Hilfiger could still steal your girl.
Right.
So
right. That's a fact.
Just don't get comfortable. Don't get comfortable.
Hey Nino, man, as always, I enjoyed this episode, man. Second to last episode. You guys make sure you guys are here tomorrow. Kind of for the bon voyage as me and Nino go from CFB Nation to CFB Morning and CFB Prime. As I always like to say, do something nice with somebody you normally wouldn't do. Always pay it forward. Peace and love, peace and blessings. And until next time, y'all already know what it is. 1.